Dillon from somewhere. Oh, I like the dog. Casey, what rate would you charge to make a guest appearance at an intervention outside of Frederick, Maryland? Well, Dillon, I don't think you'd want me there for an intervention. That might be it would be a very funny bit. Like after everyone of your family goes to the person, hey, this is how you've affected us with your drugs, drinking, gambling, prostitution, whatever. We brought in a special interventionist who's really going to make a difference. And then I show up and I'm like, nice. What do I do? Dillon. No fighting. No drinking. Dillon, do I get paid? No, you didn't want me for that.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to the Ramblin' Dabbler, episode 2. I think I have to use my radio voice to say the Ramblin' Dabbler, kind of an indictment on how I don't enunciate enough in my regular speaking voice. And my audio, as soon as I started going, was doing something weird. So let's... Okay, that was just with the Casey video. I don't know why I was doing the weird thing, but when I'm testing out the videos that we'll be seeing, it's not to knock it off, you. So, welcome to episode 2. I started this. I don't believe I gave a good explanation on the first episode. I'm bored. I got nothing to do. I'm unemployed, and I would like to get back in the entertainment industry, but if I don't, at the end of the summer, I'll get a job. Just regular old job, maybe Costco or something. But for now, we've got this hobby going on. It would be great if I get an audience who will pay me money. DSP found an audience, as we saw yesterday. We'll check in with him again. I cannot wait to do another episode where I am DSP's co-host. But today, I am Casey Armstrong's co-host. That's the wrong layout. That's the layout I'm looking for. Thank you, StreamYard. So, Casey Armstrong is from the Howard Stern Show. He has a fan base built in because he was a very likable guy, a crazy dude, but who wasn't on the Stern Show? You had to be some sort of crazy or mentally challenged to be part of the regular Stern Show crew. And Casey was a Stern staffer. He has a lot of crazy things that he did. Artie Lang appeared at Casey Armstrong's intervention. That's why when I was seeking out people to be part of the intervention, Casey Armstrong was one of the people that I reached out to because, well, if we're going to spend thousands of dollars, what's a few $100s more to lighten the mood and have someone who's gone through the program and has a successful story to tell? That intervention, by the way, did not happen. The enablers be enabling, and I spent a week of my mental power getting the intervention together, and I'm back to doing creative horseshit because enablers be enabling. They have as big a problem quitting as the addicts do quitting their substance of choice, which for this addict was everything. Whatever. Get me not sober as close to 24 hours a day as you can. And that's the situation that I walked away from because they were like, hey, we're going to keep the exact same patterns when he gets back. He's just going to be better. Nope. That's not how addicts work. You keep the exact same patterns in which they got fucked up all the time, and they are going to continue to get messed up all the time. But let's check in with Casey Armstrong. Here, this episode is entitled Special Late Night Nutty Hours Show. And actually, what do I want? Theater mode? Do I want full screen mode? Yes, I like full screen mode on this. That works the best. Let me get the next video onto... Nope, that's not it. We are just working with the silliness of a guy with a hobby here. Maybe one day it'll be something more than a hobby, but for now we're just a hobby. Huh, that's strange. It does that instead of... Oh, I know why it's doing that. Never mind the man in front of the curtain. Pay no attention to him. Let's just get on with the show. Casey, I cannot help. I cannot help. I can help. I cannot wait to help you. He actually has a show scheduled tonight with Jim Florentine. Jim Florentine, a very entertaining guy. If Casey cannot make an entertaining interview out of Jim Florentine, he's fucking hopeless. But he did have a very boring interview with Bob Levy recently. Bob Levy is having a renaissance. I did not hear from Bob Levy since he had a mental breakdown and walked off the Stern Show well over 10 years ago. And I was very happy to see Bob Levy perform stand-up live at DabbleCon. Very good job. I think he was drunk as shit. It didn't matter. He is a great stage presence. And some people like Doug Stanhope, he says, you want me drunk. You do not want to see this babbling, stuttering bastard up here sober. When I am drunk, he can be an entertaining person. And I don't know if that is Levy too, but Stanhope has definitely gone on the record saying that he must be drunk or else his performance will stink. But on with the show. Casey, what's happening? How'd you hit live? Who hit live? You got to hit live in order to go live. The chair didn't hit live. And it's over. It's funny that he left that episode up, but he took down the 13-minute episode in which he was struggling to get his guest, the coach, on and never could because it was so poorly planned out. Like, he doesn't send the link beforehand. Like, you can set this up. StreamYard makes it very simple. Anyone can do it. I can do it. I've been wanting to do some edited content for years and years, specifically some reviews, but piss poor editing skills. So let's go over to this next tab. All right, we have got another show with Casey Armstrong. Hopefully this one goes a little better than that one. I wish you would have left up that 13-minute episode. I'd really like to be the co-host on that one and show you what I could have done to help that episode. Because if you have a co-host, Casey, and the guest cancels on you, then let's just bullshit for 45 minutes to 90 minutes. And that his podcasts are running regularly under an hour. And part of the reason is that he schedules it around Radio Gunk. Radio Gunk is a Howard Stern review show. Howard Stern detractors. That they cannot stand. They were like duty streams to DSP. Radio Gunk is to Howard Stern. And it's just bizarre that Casey loves that show so much. These people who actually have never had any contact with the Stern Show universe beyond, some interviewing of some guests. But I've got to end the show so I can go watch my favorite show, Radio Gunk. Priorities, Casey. Priorities. Nope. Take two. We're going to prepare. We are preparing to prepare. Why are you always preparing? Just go. As they say in Spaceballs. Preparing to fast forward. Fast forward! Why did you restart the countdown? Did he need to start at 30? Oh no, I didn't start at 30 seconds. Like, if you saw my stream yesterday, I started at... Is this trademark music, Casey? Oh, 2 intros. Countdown and an intro. Better not be copyrighted music. I didn't check it beforehand. Like DSP yesterday, he has an intro with music, and I just skipped right past that because he's gotten multiple takedowns for copyrighted material, and I'm not trying to get a strike already.
All right, guys. Hey,
hello,
how's
Casey.
Everybody doing?
About halfway the sound.
Oh my,
that sounded about right.
Interesting
to me.
I
will be figuring this out show as the show goes on.
Just bearded fat
green screen.
fuck.
The green screen rash is spreading, Casey. You need to see a doctor. Get some ointment.
Speak that way about someone he doesn't know, and doesn't know.
Oh, he's talking about Melton from No One Likes Onions. Casey had a full-on
what
meltdown
that
because
person
Melton was critical of his
is
show.
about.
And Casey,
I never
your
got
show
that. I was never a person
criticism.
like it.
I haven't watched Melton, but he's
It's
shown up
so
in the
hard for
Dabbleverse
me to say
lately.
something bad about somebody. I'm so nice to everybody.
You've never met
And I
Melton.
try and bring everybody
Melton
up.
is just watching your show and seeing it's garbage.
But when some
I don't want your show to be garbage,
piece of
Casey.
shit
I want to help. I am here to help.
do nothing loser who never did anything
I can't
you know,
confirm nor deny
just
if
wants to
Melton is
get
a
under my
do-nothing
skin
loser.
and just,
He's doing a podcast. He's been doing
know,
it for years, so he's a
say
do-something
mean things
dude.
so I talk about him.
I'm going to hold off from calling him a loser.
Oh,
because
you got it.
He's a do-something dude.
You got
not
it.
a
I know you are.
loser.
It's going to get interesting. Let's just stop it right now. I'm telling you.
How did you work on the Stern
Don't
show
say
for all
another
those
word.
years and you
Okay, quit.
criticism? You are so upset
You don't
about
get
this
to do
guy
that.
telling you your shitty show is shitty.
If you saw me face to face, would you say that to me? Would you say what you're saying? Would you be so tough?
I would.
No, that's what
I don't think Melton was being tough. I haven't seen it. As I said, I'm not a fan.
I don't
fan.
think
I like
anybody
onions.
wants to be a
So inherently, I have something against No One Likes Onions.
It's like one thing. Like, look, nobody, trains every day. Nobody, nobody prepares and is ready to deal with a loser when
got to get a still of Harry Shearer
try and put them
Wayne's
down
World.
and make themselves feel better. But you found one.
He's not looking for a problem. He wants to help. I want to help.
Really
Casey, I've sent you 2 emails.
I'm not the
begging
guy
to help you. Starting out with "This is coming from a place of caring."
I'm not a tough
Casey,
guy at all.
This podcast, this co-host audition, is coming from a place of caring. I put that up front because you're breeding trolls. You are breeding them. You are reacting and getting so pissed off. And oh man, maybe I'll get to that return show he had where he explained that he's going to explain. He never actually explained, but he explained that he's going to explain why he took why he has to take time off. And you made me half a troll there, Casey. I don't want to be half a troll. I wish you would respond to my emails. You gave out your email that night, and I immediately was like, look, I've been in your comments saying you need a co-host. I am a rambling motherfucker. I can help you when you're sitting there and you have nothing to say and nothing to do. Help your show be something that isn't watching paint dry. And a boring color of paint, not like that nice green paint. That's a fascinating paint to watch dry.
Oh, I don't want to hurt anybody. I want everyone to be happy. I'm not tough at all. But to come after me, go do to someone else. Okay.
Constructive criticism. And material for podcasting,
like I said,
such as this is.
All right. Let's just make that a friendly.
This is supposed to be a troll podcast.
Understanding.
It's supposed to be a troll
So don't say
podcast
my
for
name
SP
again.
because he will
You
not
understand?
take advice.
Okay. Cool. Guys, I got a great guest today. I have.
That's a lie.
I don't know where Miss Angel Cassidy is because Miss Angel Cassidy.
What really surprises
has
me
such
is
an
my
amazing story,
knowledge
such an
of
amazing
porno,
person.
and I have no idea
She
who Angel
started
Cassidy is.
And I
Anybody
love the
watching
story. I
this,
saw
throw
it.
in the
I know
comments if you know who Angel
that this
Cassidy
happened.
is, and if she's
I
a
went
double anal
to-
expert,
when I
like
lived in
Belladonna.
California, went to her house, and we were just just dicking around. I guess she was moving into a different place, so she was packing stuff, and I was helping her.
Fascinating story.
And she came across this one box.
She came
that had some
That's her
newspaper
job.
articles in it. And I'm like, do you mind if I read this? She's like, sure, okay, go ahead.
I was making a word play.
And
Actually reading.
I started reading it, and it was a story about a little girl, like 7 or 8 years old.
Oh, a short story. Ooh, you want to be in my writing group, Angel?
Somehow came across a car that was engulfed in flames.
Oh, he talks about this.
And what would a 7 or 8-year-old girl do when they saw something like that? Probably be scared as hell, right? What would a 40-something loser like myself do who has
So
a
you're the
horrible
loser?
phone
Melton isn't the loser? I thought Melton was the loser.
and is in so much pain right now, by the way. That's all right. Just did 100 push-ups.
Okay, so it was, I guess it wasn't fiction,
What a dumb
because he
John
rambles
jerk.
on with Angel Cassidy.
I am the town
This
dick. That's what he
episode,
wrote it here.
I was in the live
What?
chat. I believe you'll hear him reference me at some point. The DSP episode yesterday, I had not seen before, because why would anyone subject themselves to a DSP podcast if not for creating content from it, like duty streams and what's the other guy? Secret Limited makes it look so damn professional. He doesn't come out as often as Duty Streams, who has regular daily episodes of DSP detracting. But when Secret Limited does release DSP material, it is very chock full of material and appears like very professional. It would look at home on a cable network. I don't know about a network, but cable, yeah, absolutely.
What would a 7 or 8-year-old girl do? Would that 7 or 8-year-old girl try and pry open the door and get the 2 people that were burning to death, burning alive, try and get them out of the car?
Yay, 2 people.
Or would they?
Thanks both of you for joining in. We are talking to Casey Armstrong here. He and his co-host. I can't see if you're both in YouTube and one on Twitch. I know yesterday there was one Twitch and one YouTube. We are streaming both as well as
none of us would do.
God, once we get 1,000 TikTok followers, we'll take that Twitter down and put it on TikTok Live.
Angel Cassidy
version of StreamYard, I can stream.
Open the door and saves 2 people from burning to death.
How many people did Angel Cassidy have streaming on her at once, Casey?
That alone makes her have accomplished something in her life that we all would be jealous of. We wish we made a difference. We wish.
I'm getting better. I did a lot of buzz yesterday on my first episode, so I'm aware of that. I'm going to try to knock it off. But this speech pattern you have going on, Casey, ice.
I keep going back to this fat fuck with the
Melton again.
Melton beard.
Fucking triggered him. And, well done, Melton. I gotta watch that. What you said about him.
Doing his thing by the windowsill and making fun of everybody. That's what the guy does. It's just embarrassing, man. You know what? Go do something. Go do something.
He's doing a podcast.
And then you won't have to make fun of other people. I know I called you a fat fuck. That was a knee-jerk reaction. I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that.
What should people do on...
But you are a fat fuck.
Once again, the Stern Show. You were part of the Howard Stern Show for like a decade. And so much of the DNA of Howard Stern is making fun of people. And it was very mean humor because that was the style at the time. How are you this sensitive? It was the same with Stuttering John, too. I would love to do an episode of this as a co-host of Stuttering John if he hadn't nuked his channel. So if you didn't download his material, John is gone. And he's actually gone away long enough that if he were to come back, the people in the Dabbleverse would actually give him money. They would give him super chats. It would still be ironically. It would still be busting his balls. But I'm ready to give you a $5 super chat. And I don't give anyone a $5 super chat anymore now that I'm unemployed for the summer. And just having fun, hanging out, living all frugally. You were still on Melton, right, Casey?
Say things to people who you shouldn't.
I've got to look at this monitor. When I look over here,
me and you are
it looks
the same,
weird,
buddy. But I'm not going to be mean to someone for no reason.
Oh, I wish I would have picked a Stern Show clip. There is definitely audio proof of you being mean to people for no reason, to have millions of people around the country laugh at them with you. I feel like I'm not out of line saying that that's a fact without actually looking it up.
And I'm also not the person to say mean things to, because I don't like that, and I think it's rude. My name is Patrick Bateman, and I live on the 31st floor.
Don't forget to put your headphones in so you don't hear the screaming, Patrick Bateman.
I use a butter.
Think.
Ah, my God, that hurts so much.
Thinking hurts?
Fuck.
What is
Sorry.
going on here?
Oh God.
Were you lifting before the show? I know you're big into the
There is
gym,
an idea
and your father was kind of abusive with
of
how
a
much he was
silly
into
radio
fitness.
show. You could probably squeeze my hand and feel someone gripping yours and feel we might have something in common. But I really am not there.
Where are you, Casey? Let's see. I think Angel Cassidy is coming up soon. And I don't know how long I can keep this show going with that interview. That was mind numbing. It is mind numbing. Well, we'll see how long we can get through while we stop and start making this officially transformative. Don't strike me. It's transformative.
Oh my God. Oh, that hurts. Angel, where are you? Save me.
I'm your co-host here,
I'm gonna
Casey.
guys,
I'll save
I'm
you.
going to show you
Let's bullshit and talk about the rash that was on your arm and now
quick
spreading to your
story
microphone.
while I go get Angel, okay? There's a professor. No, I guess I probably can't do that, but there's a guy that calls me over.
I hope Angel Cassidy doesn't have the green screen rash. I mean, with all the cocks she's taken.
Let's talk about.
I mean, there's video proof. Once again, I should actually check that out.
Right back.
As much as I know about porno,
Listen to this, guys.
I am completely unfamiliar with Angel Cassidy.
So I got over to the new studio after work yesterday.
Okay,
and, you know, we're in the
ventriloquism act.
And
this is
just getting everything ready over there.
I'm gonna turn this down because he's playing audio from before. He should put up a different picture. It looks like he's like Tukey and the Chad Zuppet, where there is someone operating him. I'm not. I can't throw my voice very well. I'm gonna get out the old COVID mask when I do puppeteering, and my face has to be on at the same time with Mr. Winston. And the Mr. Winston review show of Lost, maybe next week, maybe the week after. As I mentioned yesterday, there is more pre-production that I don't need to do, but I want to do to expand the puppet show aspect of this puppet show.
It's not something you can promise. So, you know.
But I will be doing 3 episodes a week through the summer. Maybe back it down to 2 after that once I get a job and start making money again. Thinking of Costco. The reason I thought of Costco is because the intervention that I mentioned earlier, I would be exposing some toxic relationships outside of the addiction. One of them being my family member who gave me the friends and family Costco card. So I don't need to worry about, am I saving money with this annual membership? Because I'm one of the 2 people he gave it to for free. And as long as I'm nowhere near you, I don't need to expose how toxic you are and how much you've regressed into childhood in your 40s. But if we were going to expose the addict, I needed to expose all of the enabling behavior. And yeah, as I said, that is on hold. I am not doing the intervention after doing a week's worth of work. The quote I came up with was around $12,000. That includes the interventionist, whose fee is $6,000. Me and the other organizer of the intervention, we were in disagreement on if we needed an interventionist, but I was quite adamant the enablers needed the guidance of the interventionist.
He wasn't breathing and he wasn't moving, so I pulled over into
that green
Walmart
rash on your arm,
and I got him Pedialyte, and I put him in front of the heater for a couple hours, and then he started to open his eyes, and now we're friends. I'm like, oh, geez, there's no way you're giving up this squirrel, is there? No.
Now.
What about? Okay, guys. Well,
what I had
sound
to drops from the Stern show.
I got.
I need a soundboard. Soundboards are fun.
She should be coming back on, but that's a true story. I actually had.
Oh, there's the doggy.
A squirrel. That
not Mr. Winston. Mr. Winston is nice and quiet.
We would go outside. The
and
squirrel.
I addressed that because I assume you heard that bark.
Shoulder, climb up the tree, and then when my ex would say, "It's time to go inside," Scarlet, the squirrel, would come down, get back on her shoulder, and then walk inside. Let me go to the audience here, guys. She'll be here in a minute. Okay, I'm sorry that took so long. And I'm
You don't
sorry
know
I
she'll
used
be here in a
language,
minute.
about someone.
She's
who
not in
being mean
StreamYard in
to
the waiting room.
I don't like that because you guys know me. I'm not mean to anybody.
I need to come back
Okay.
here and show you definitely have audio proof being
Grumble
mean
has
for
29
entertainment
squirrels.
factor.
Well, that's 20 more than we had. And
Just put the
Obnoxious
mic
John
over
is here. Thank you for joining,
I
guys.
might have to change my
When you
setup
see
because I'm kind of looking over here to talk into the
Angel
mic.
Cassidy come on,
I'm looking over here, or I could
you're
just
going to be
mirror the.
inspired
We'll
because
figure it out.
she's great.
Because it is kind of
it's right.
odd
It's
looking
not
over
easy
here
being
and
mean,
looking over.
but you got to know the people.
I'm over here
that
now.
You can be mean
I'm over
to.
here now.
Some people you shouldn't be mean to. They don't like it, and maybe they're not all together that much.
Yeah, only masochists like
maybe
being,
they make poor decisions.
getting
Maybe they
mean
make poor
behavior towards them.
decisions that
I
they
am a
think
sadomasochist myself.
in the
Lean towards
moment
masochist, but
are
there's some
right.
sado in there.
But then afterwards, after what they do is done,
Sorry about that mouth noise.
then they have to deal with
Here
it.
now.
And I don't want to deal with stuff like that again. So just please leave me alone. I'm begging you.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. He sounds like Billy Crystal in that classic Stuttering John interview. Why me? Why me? Leave me alone. I didn't pull that clip, so that is not pull the clip. I just need to bring up the link, but I didn't bring that up. I'm not going to take the time to sit here and just stare at you. When I'm just staring at you, hopefully it's just part of a bit, as it was yesterday at the end of the show when I needed to hit an extra button, so I just at you for a while. Made me laugh. Hope it made both my viewers laugh too.
I really am begging you to leave me alone. Don't be mean to me. I would not be mean to you.
You're in the sky, Casey. People are going
so only talk to
critical of
nice
you.
people while we wait for
like the audience was on my appearance.
I know we had this problem last time. I don't know.
75
I don't know what happened to my friend.
of them did
Angel
not
Cassidy
like me.
Just a
Thank you to 25% who did.
And,
but I was shot out of a cannon with a lot to say.
For the person I called,
and I will be covering
fat fuck.
that subject.
I apologize, and I'd like to be friends
on this show.
So let's.
I had a limited time.
The nonsense before it goes to a place where I don't want to go.
They asked me questions, got me off track.
I like living here.
When you get me off track, like I can go down that road for a long time. El Horrible was warned. I am a rambler. I can ramble. You just need to pull the string, and Talkie Dillon can go on and on and on and on and on.
Casey, is it true you fought Rakim?
Well, I rambled.
Rakim who?
I assume he's talking about the rapper. I talked over that full thing.
Jules David is here. Get grill one.
Some people think that's the real Jules David. that's a whole rabbit hole in itself of Red Bar, Mike David and Jules David. But Jules David is not Jules David. It's a different Jules David, Casey. And as naive as you're coming off in your podcast, I don't think you realize that.
With a blonde wig, no one will.
Can you hear that?
Music stream. Just tried watching Melton's show to hear what he said about Casey. Couldn't endure more than a minute. Melton is horrible. Whatever he said doesn't matter. You're right, music stream. And I'm sorry. I was just a reaction. You're right. I should be more mature. And I have to yell at my cat, stop fucking around.
I wish the dog was fucking around at this point so I could follow you, but she was fucking around a couple of minutes ago.
No fucking fighting.
Oh, the same advice you gave me about the intervention. Well, not the advice you gave me, but you're like, well, what am I going to say? Hey, you probably caught that at the beginning. The audio of that was odd. I'm going to have to work on that of intros that have audio. I'll listen back. Maybe it didn't sound odd to you guys, but it didn't come through the headphones for me. It came out of the speakers.
I'm sorry. I just have to tell them because I have the planks in here, the soundproof, so they can't hear me over there. So they think it's okay to fight next door. It's not okay to fight. We don't do fighting here. So quit it. Hi, Siobhan.
Is he talking to his neighbors? That is a problem that I could
That's
have.
very
too.
nice. Siobhan says you have to
I
be
don't
a
know if
dickhead
you're
to hate
picking
on
up
Casey.
on
He's nice to everyone.
background
I am.
audio. I
Yeah,
think that's
I'd much rather be
one
nice
of my
to people.
roommates.
I don't like being
There
mean
is
to
some
people.
background audio
really
going
don't.
on here at my place.
I think it's
I need to pay him $10
dangerous.
to be quiet during
don't like
streaming
that.
times.
I don't like where it usually ends me up. Kinky Loco, am I yelling at my mom? No, I'm yelling at my cats, you dumb dick. Sorry. You don't hear them fighting? Well, I guess you can't because that's why I got the Angel, where are you, buddy? Where is my friend? Come on, Angel. Don't you know the Yankees are kicking ass right now? Oh, here she goes.
You know what
Let's
would
go.
be great?
It's the same link you sent. I just sent it to you.
What would be great right here is if you had a co-host that you could throw to as you do this technical stuff. You just pull this string on Talkie Dillon, and Talkie Dillon will babble on about some type of horse shit. And I can talk about some type of horse shit for a while. You see, horse shit, it comes out more like in balls. You got the yeah, I can help you, Casey. Let me help you. Let Milton help you. I think Milton actually wanted to help you, Casey. I can't completely confirm this because, as I said, I haven't seen the clips. I like onions, so no one likes onions. You hurt my soul with that name. Have you tried grilling the onions? Have you tried caramelizing the onions? No one likes onions. I can understand raw onions. They're not as appealing as grilled or caramelized onions.
To you, buddy. Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna send it again, guys. I am so sorry. I sent it twice. This should be done before the show, and I deserve.
You're breathing correctly, right?
Go ahead.
In through the nose and out through the mouth helps with the therapeutic. You need some therapeutic breathing, Case.
You're allowed right now because I deserve it. I really do. Okay, so I just did this. Okay.
Do it live.
I sent it.
I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fuck it.
All right, here we go. Guys, really, I'm so sorry. This is just so unprofessional.
But if you had a co-host...
I was talking about my life.
And people wouldn't even know how unprofessional it is because you have someone to babble over here as you dabble. The Babble and Dabble Show.
All right, there it is.
Oh, when someone mentioned the Babble and Dabble Show with Opie and Stuttering John, I want that so much. But neither of them can go into the joke. No, neither one of them will lean into the joke. Neither.
Guys, I'll be with you in 1 second.
Oh, I need to vamp. Sorry, I was drinking my coffee, and you are still doing nothing.
So that's the last time. If it doesn't work out, then we'll do something else.
The vamping song. Maybe I should.
All right, let me go to you guys. Hey, Molten Lab. Who is this angel? Well, she is she was involved in the adult industry.
No, Casey.
A lot of things that she went through. Oh yeah, we need Beetlejuice to handle all the technical stuff. That's awesome.
Miles.
Nice. Oh yeah, it's true.
She went.
I need Beetlejuice to handle all the technical stuff, so I don't have to. Oh, it hurts so much. Johnny Quigg
is now on your
was
papers.
the real whack pack. Yeah. Dillon from Summer. Casey, would you be open to holding on-air auditions for a co-host? I believe a second mic altering up. There we go, guys. Let me go. Here we go.
Okay. Guys, for those of you, that was my question. Dillon from Somewhere. Would you be open to auditioning a co-host? I believe it will help your brand. I believe it will help your show. And he's just not even taking any of it in. Every time I've been asking you to audition as your co-host in the chat and in the email that you gave out, I'm being as nice as I possibly can while criticizing your show because we're 20 minutes in to this episode of the Casey Armstrong show. And could any of you have watched this without someone horse shit, bullshit, shitting on top of it? I don't want to shit on you, Casey. I want to help you. Hi,
the
Angel.
one and only Miss Angel Cassidy. Angel, finally we are here. How are you, my friend?
Sorry about all the technical difficulties. I have the newest browser, but I just was sitting in a room all by myself, feeling lonely.
Maybe I should
So
switch to that one.
thank you again for sending the current link. I'm gonna go outside.
And she's
on
not
my
even ready.
patio
Oh,
where I
that's nice.
have some privacy.
Came in the
I
room.
know.
Well,
Welcome
Where
to.
are you now, buddy? Where,
I'm in San Diego,
what a
and I
beautiful
live
place.
in Little
It is,
Italy,
you know.
which that right there is the Star of India.
Oh my God.
It's like
Looks like
really
awesome.
cool.
Is that the
Right?
water I see back there?
Yeah, I know. I'm so lucky right
You've been
now.
to San Diego,
Angel,
Casey?
you
lived
always
in Los
lived in the
Angeles for a while. You never made it down to San Diego. Then again, I lived in Los Angeles for a while. I never made it up to San Francisco. So we both missed out on some nice cities while in that area.
Best places.
Ah, thanks.
I remember the last place you lived, and you could see the Hollywood sign, right?
Yeah.
That's when we knew each other. It was way back. Right? We could see the Hollywood sign from your place.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, I lived up in that house
You can
for
see the
like
Hollywood
a couple
sign
years,
from
but I did
anywhere
take a
in
10-year
Hollywood.
stint in Hollywood, and I think I met you when we were trying to do stand-up comedy. How fun!
That's right.
I
You would
remember.
come down to the
In
Ha-Ha.
North Hollywood.
You would
on
come
the
down
other
to the
Yeah.
Ha-Ha every
I could see
Monday.
the Hollywood sign in Burbank. I was on
That
the
was
other
so
side of the
fun.
mountain.
That
It's
was
awesome.
the best
And
time of my life.
Jules David is a friend of mine. Jules David.
Hi,
You really do
Jules.
think it's Mike David's wife, don't you?
Angel. She's
Yeah.
excited to hear you. A lot of people are excited that you're here. Crumb Bum says, "What did you think of Ray DeVito at the show?" This Angel, this just happened this past weekend. I went to Potts Town.
Ooh, this was after the Pottstown massacre. We will get all into that on Thursday's show. I believe I'm going to take a day off, do more research than I usually do for this silly podcast, and talk about the Pottstown massacre.
And did a show. Ray, I met him. He seemed to be a nice guy. Crumb
I know
Bum.
all about
We'll
it.
talk more about him later. After
my
me and Angel visit for a little bit. I'll come back to that. Okay, Crumb Bum. Thank you so much.
The Ramble and Dabbler.
Angel. Speaking of stand-up comedy, Crumb Bum was talking about.
Yeah.
We used to come down to the Ha-Ha Cafe down in Lancashire, North Hollywood,
used to be known as
and do some stand-up comedy. And
another NoHo. For anyone who saw the Sodo Sopa episode of South Park, even the type is the same. That has to be the direct parody that they're making. There's a lot of downtown areas that tried to revitalize and be like Soda Sopa in South Park. But I believe it was specifically a 1-for-1 on North Hollywood. I got there after the makeover, so I did not get to see North Hollywood before it was all hipstered out, trying to appeal to the younger people.
How long did that last for? How did you enjoy it?
Me or Ray or Crumb Bum?
No, you.
Hey, I loved it. Gosh, I did a bunch of like other like little theater shows, but I think comedy was my favorite. Actually, what better person to get teamed up with when
theater show? I did one theater show in Hollywood at a such a rundown little tiny theater. It was even community theater that I did elsewhere was not as shitty as this place in downtown Hollywood, but actors want to act. We want to do little horse shit. So, what was it? It was like Once Upon a Time or something. I played like several roles. I think everyone had several roles in it. I'll remember the name of that awful little Hollywood theater I did, but I only did one. I only ever did one. Then I got into background acting because they pay you money. A lot of theater in Los Angeles, or at least the ones I experienced, was just for a hobby. And like New York is where you go for theater. That's where you get paying theater and tickets that are just way too fucking expensive to actually attend. But
trying to get your feet wet in Hollywood with the comedy world. So it was a blast. It was a blast. I've met so many great people in Hollywood that were just, always be there. I think I could always like call them up and going, I'm coming back to LA. Let's go do coffee or lunch. And So yeah, I mean, I miss
I do
parts
kind of
of
have
it,
the same
but
thing.
not
I
a
will
whole
be
lot. I
heading
love
to Los Angeles. I've got some DMV horse shit to work out with my car to get it properly registered here and somewhere. And I do have my friends that I'm going to be staying with. It's going to be a very cheap trip, and I'm going to be staying with with friends for those 4 days. So yeah, I identify with you, Angel.
San
That was the
Diego.
mile of
It's my
talk you took me to.
hometown.
So
It's a
beautiful
different
there.
pace.
In Los
I love New
Angeles,
York
in
too,
Colorado.
though. Yeah, New York.
Hey, Angel, do you live by the Comedy Store up there in La Jolla?
Not too far away. And I what's his name? The Comedy Store's son.
Holy Shore?
Gosh, I just submitted a self tape for him. Come on, tell me his name. You
I
know
don't know
his
if
name.
Paulie's still up there.
So, Paulie Shore, actually, he came to town in my hometown when I did stand up regularly. They had a monthly open micer contest, and one person would win, and then they would have a contest at the end of the year for the open micer of the year, and they had to cancel the Paulie Shore open mic because he refused to perform after open micers. Jim Florentine, my very first night doing open mic stand-up comedy, Jim Florentine was in town. He was the host, and he was very actually the comedy club. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. They had us, what was it, 8, 12, however many open micers. They were like, here, you guys can hang out in the green room where Jim Florentine is hanging out. And he's like, guys, can we put them somewhere else? Which is completely understandable. He was a very nice person, but he needs somewhere to decompress and get his thoughts together. And the owners of this comedy club put a dozen open micers with 5 to 8 minutes in there to just hang out until their time comes up. And he's like, guys, please, come on. Can they go anywhere else?
There, I don't know.
Pauly
but-
Shore, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Pauly's, I think, in LA, but they have one here in San Diego.
Yeah, so great.
I sent him a couple messages when you coming back to San Diego?
Nice.
But
Angel,
yeah, he's busy.
let me go back and I've been telling the audience about you and what an amazing person you are, and I want to go back, way back, as a young girl. I know you're bashful, but
1885.
People need to hear this story,
Yeah.
and people will think about this.
Need to hear this story,
and the more they do, they'll feel about how the how people, your sister or your brother that you don't know will be there to help you. Hopefully, you are a young girl, and somehow you get involved, and there's a car. Take me through the whole story, please.
Okay, Casey talked this story up at the beginning. After she gets off, he talks it up some more. I remember being in the chat, just being bored out of my mind, entertaining myself with the other people shitting on this interview. So let's hear this story that we must hear.
Okay. So not to like damper anybody by bringing you down a little, but I had this really traumatic event happen, and I go, you know how God puts you in this place and it's for a reason, and
I don't know, for some reason it just makes me laugh. Someone who has filmed gangbang scenes being religious and talking about God's way and God's will,
and it changes your life forever, and it's like that chance to like step into courage, and that happened for me when I was like I was 20 years old actually, and
I thought you were younger. Okay.
I wasn't I wasn't old enough to go to the bars yet. I worked at this cute little coffee shop in Ramona, which is like a little country town where they have horses and cows run around. Like
cows don't run.
It's a special kind of place. It's very country like. So there's this windy road that you take all the way to go up to Julian, where they have the famous apple pies. And I was going out there to go visit a girlfriend of mine. We were going to lay by the pool. So I felt, all summered up and driving this windy, curvy road, this truck full of teenage boys and one girl decided to be careless and try to pass me on a 2-lane straightaway, which there was a turn coming up. So they sped up to about 81 miles an hour, to pass me, and I'm like, vroom, and I look over and they're there 1 second and then they're gone the next second. So I look in my rearview mirror and I'm like, holy snap, you know? Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm allowed
I got you. You're all right.
But you know what I said? I said them all.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So I pulled over and I got out of my
YouTube
car,
doesn't like the other
and
word.
this
I'll avoid the other
double cab
words.
truck had
YouTube
wrapped
doesn't like
themselves
that
around
one.
the tree, an 8-foot wide eucalyptus tree on the
Oh,
side of the road.
You know
And
Carlin's 7 dirty words.
it
You know
was
what the next one
just,
was.
like,
YouTube hates that
shocking,
word.
you know. You go back
I'll
and you
avoid
go,
using it as much
you
as I
just
love
don't even
saying
think.
it.
You just kind of go
But
into
it's really
like a
in the
must
UK.
help
It's
mode.
very much
And I
that word that you can't say on YouTube. They use it very very much in an endearing way over there. Ah, I love you. You fucking. I want to say it, but being brand new to YouTube, I don't want to give them reason to strike me, which is, you know, why I'm stopping and making sure this is transformative, staying away from the 7 dirty words that they especially hate. I know they're not a big fan of shit and fuck, but they'll let shit and fuck slide. Whereas the other one, they will take you down. They will hide that video. They will not put it in the recommendations for saying that other one of the 7 dirty words. So people passed you on a road and you spent 3 minutes setting it up. Go.
opened the passenger side because the driver's side had wrapped around the truck. And I just pulled the first person that I could pull out of the car, which was, his name was Jeremy Bohard. And he was 16 years old. And I'm pulling him by his arm and his belt loop because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, which, come to find out, he really only lived for 5 days because life flight came and he had a lot of internal injuries that I didn't know about. So I just remember pulling him out and the truck like burst into flames and like half my hair caught on fire and I was like pulling him out.
I suppose you helped him get out, get away from the imminent explosion. So this is for as many times as she's definitely told this story, you'd think she would have found a fascinating way to do it. I mean, once you tell a story over and over again, you find the high points, you find little fascinating things to say, you get little punchlines in between the big punchline. Now I'm talking about talking as if telling a story is a joke. This story of pulling people out of a burning vehicle.
And the cars would just kind of drive by, you know.
Nobody
stopped.
Well, fuck that.
Nobody stopped because I don't think they knew what to do.
Right.
So eventually, like, the traffic stopped and life flight came, and I'm just kind of holding this bloody kid.
So Angel, when you first
only
got
helicopters came and took him away,
people,
and then I asked him what his name was. Well, I looked at his ID. And I asked Life Flight where they were going to take him
without
so
being mind-numbingly boring.
Keep in contact to see if he survived and was okay. The ambulance, they come and give you this like trauma therapy afterward to make sure, you know, because I had a little bit of guilt. I could have done more
out of a car wreckage,
but they were like 3 kids died that day, and then he died 5 days later, and then the girl,
people in there. Did you pull
in the truck that got ejected?
Did you pull it out?
Figure out
those men did and those videos you did?
How or where she was at in the truck for her to get ejected because the windshield and everything was kind of wrapped around this tree. So she was thrown into an embankment. When I look over,
viewers, there's a couple of you.
Do
you know Angel Cassidy?
And she didn't.
Have you seen
like a ghost?
Get
She didn't
penetrated?
talk to me. She just kind of survived.
Hundreds of porno actresses.
But no one could really figure out how she got out.
I'm unfamiliar with her.
So that was the amazing part, that she survived.
She was the only one.
She was the only one, and I was like, "Oh, that's amazing."
That's amazing.
I'm sure it's a whole different gambit of psychological stuff that you go through when you are forced to survive crazy stuff like that. But it makes you really put things into perspective. Like, I am not as invincible as I thought I was, you know,
right.
like boom.
Right. Because at that age, we all think that we're gonna live forever.
We all do, especially like the poor kid driver. He didn't know like what the truck could handle, and you don't know it's till it's too late sometimes when it comes to car accidents. That's why they call them accidents.
Right.
But
Angel, let
I
me ask
feel
you.
lucky. Yeah.
I'm going to get into all that, but before, let me just
How long
for
did
the viewers here,
Story. Had to
when you
hear.
see the truck wrap around this
It was
tree,
really all we had to hear was I pulled someone out of car wreckage. There was no story there. I mean there were lots of words around that factoid. It was just word salad. I pulled a person out of car wreckage and more word salad.
tree, where is the door? Do you have to?
Oh, Casey's getting in the weeds.
Do you have to
of
struggle
this.
to get to the door?
I'm lucky
come into
he
flame
wasn't
as
wearing his
you got there?
seatbelt. I got there.
You're
the door
lucky
opened
he
because I was
wasn't
the
wearing his
passenger
seatbelt.
side.
But was
Okay.
he?
But in the whole driver's side was the one that impacted the tree.
Okay.
So I was lucky in that aspect, but I had like seconds
I
to.
feel like you're using the wrong phrase here to say that that you were lucky that this person in a horrible accident wasn't wearing their seatbelt, so you could pull them out of the wreckage. I feel like that's the wrong turn of phrase there. I was lucky. I wouldn't have been a hero if he was wearing his seatbelt. Very heroic. I'm not taking that away from you, Angel. But the way you say, I was lucky that this man who died 5 days later wasn't wearing his seatbelt. He wasn't lucky that he wasn't wearing his seatbelt. Was there an explosion? Did you save him from an explosion, or did you just exasperate his internal injuries by pulling him out and not waiting for professionals to get on the scene?
To think and get him out because the fire was already like.
Oh my
Okay, there
God.
was a fire.
By the time
You
I
weren't
got into
scared that
it,
it was going to engulf you,
I thought it was going to explode. So I kind of
but you stayed there
like
anyway.
video
fast.
get exploded on. Angel.
Yeah, my dumbass runs into a burning building. I'm kidding, but yeah, I didn't think about it. I really just thought, God, if that was me, I would sure hope to God somebody would
Wow.
do that for me. That's kind of what you think.
That's incredible.
Afterward, you're like, oof. And then you breathe, and then it sinks in, and then so it does. I do feel
I am confused though. Casey's asking the wrong question. She pulled one person out of this burning vehicle. It sounded like, and there were 3 more, and one of those 3 who you didn't pull out of the wreckage survived. I'm a little bit unclear. Like, not taking away from your heroism, but this is confusing. Who you pulled out one person, and one of the 3 people who you didn't pull out survived.
like I have like a guardian angel that he's with me to this day. That like I narrowly avoid
Sirens in San Diego, not here,
accidents,
folks.
and I'm like, oh, that's him. That's my guardian angel who's keeping me safe in return. I mean, his family was like super grateful that they had, the 5 extra days with him to be able to, see him and talk to him. But then he ended up needing a heart surgery because if he was wearing his seatbelt,
Isn't this supposed to be a comedy show, Casey?
But the fact that he wasn't wearing his seatbelt made him more
like that's what your audience is, are comedy fans.
Cab of it. So, but it did tear his heart, his aorta, and it broke his femur, and he had some brain damage, and eventually it was the swelling of the brain and the torn aorta that couldn't quite
swelling
get
of the brain,
through
a big brain.
Usually that makes a
supervillain, the swelling of a brain.
Yeah, so
that's worth it. Yeah. Like
and
they got a chance.
If they had asked you right there and say, "Hey, will you give your heart?" I guarantee you, if I know you'd probably be like, "Okay, let's go. Bring
maybe a kid."
This idiot probably would donate her heart. He needs a new heart. Sure, you can take mine. It'll just grow back.
I think I need the heart.
Yeah, I might need this. Can I give him half, maybe?
Yeah, right.
The imbecile
I know. You
would donate his heart.
Yeah.
I love you, Casey. You readily admit you're a dummy
because it feels right.
Yeah. And how did that affect you in the rest of your life?
Oh gosh. Well, like I said, they send you to like trauma therapy, and then then you go
I like saying that
through
in the radio
like
voice for some reason.
let's
Some
see, I couldn't
trauma.
work for like a week, so my finances kind of went like upside down. So
What were you doing for work at the time, Angel?
I was working at the cutest little coffee shop in Ramona called Pages the Naked Bean.
Like a barista?
The Naked
I was a
Bean.
coffee shop
And then we
girl,
saw
and it
your
was cute
Naked
because they
Bean
also had
for
a
money.
bookstore. Actually, the owner, his name was Bob. He was a retired
Hey,
professional
Bobby!
basketball player. This tall man. He was so proud of me. He clipped out the newspaper
Was he
article
slender?
saying
Yeah,
how
that's
I
what
was.
that's what I saw. I saw the
Yeah,
article. That's
yeah,
how I knew
yeah.
about it.
And then
That
I
was
got
really
lucky.
cool to
Like,
find that. Do you remember we were moving out of your place? I was helping you move out, and that's when we
yeah.
found it.
Oh my gosh, you helped me move. You're an
Yeah.
amazing friend. I forgot all about that.
Well, that's how I found out about it. 'Cause you're
I'm
not the
like,
type of
hi,
person
I
that would
love
say,
you. Let's keep comedy,
actually-
but then I gotta go.
no, you're not the type of person that would be like, hey, I went into a burning car and I put my health and my life aside to help other
We got it. Move on. Talk about some gangbangs or something.
people who I didn't even know. You're not the type of person that says that stuff, but it's pretty cool for all these people that are watching you now to hear that, because there
I
are
got
people
really
like you out
lucky. Their
there.
family was so amazing.
Biggest,
They like
coolest cock you've ever
they said,
seen.
"Hey, you need a
Professionally
job,
or
come work
personally?
for us," because he worked in printing at the time.
Oh,
So I would like I ended up getting a good job out of it for a couple of years. I was in sales at a printing company and a receptionist. But yeah, it kind of it makes you, it's like a bookmark of when that happened. I always remember it. My grandma recently cleaned out her garage with all this stuff, so she gave me
when Peter
this
North
article and then all these other like books that she studied. But the article was like, oh, cool, and I left it out. My friend found it. He was like, oh, that's so cool. I go, yeah. They don't have. I couldn't find the actual article again. I think that, what do they call that? Like when you go to the library, like old school, and you gotta like microfiche through the stuff. I started trying to microfiche for it, but I gave up. But yeah, the police, California Highway Patrol contacted me, and they're like, "We are doing this new program called Heroes."
Was Eric Estrada there?
And the Burns Institute honored me with a plaque, and I got like a year's worth of steaks from the Hunter's Steakhouse dinners. I was like, every month was a celebration for like that bravery. It was cool.
Nice. So
felt
now,
hard. They should do more things for heroes. I love it.
But not the TV
yeah.
show. It would be more for Heroes, the TV show. They had a great first.
Tell me what happens.
They didn't know what the fuck they were doing and messed it up.
You can't work for a while.
But it was too little, too
probably
late.
Have
when
Robert,
yeah, little bad dreams.
To get back into it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
where does your life take you?
That's the first time I've ever seen a dead body before, or somebody died. It was the
in Hero series.
The person that was in the back
Tim
seat.
Kring.
That's who I would have went back for.
You stumbled into success,
just because they were in arm's
just kept
reach.
stumbling. You never found your footing.
They were looking right at me, but they weren't alive. So that was hard to unsee. I don't know why you feel so like trauma bonded to a stranger when stuff like that happens. So it took a little while.
You felt something towards them, and that guilt that you told me about is that I could have done more. You couldn't have. Yeah.
No.
How long did it take you to realize that that's
there was a lot of chat going on at that time? I was
wanting to be helpful. Yeah, something just takes over. I remember my grandma's like, "Don't do that. Why would you, interfere with something? That person could, sue you." And I thought about that, and I go, "Oh, crap. What if that happens where they try to find me at fault for some reason?" But there was this.
Oh yeah, totally. I pointed out what they could find you at fault for: moving a body and exasperating the internal injuries. Like if they were sue happy, they were going to take your heroism and turn it into villainism, villainy.
New law in California that took effect called the Good Samaritan Act, which that makes people go, if you can help, help. There's no repercussions for trying to help save somebody's life.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, on the Seinfeld finale, it was the opposite, where there was repercussions for nothing.
I know we don't have that in New York.
Yeah.
What's happening right now? This just happened last week. A guy, crazy person, came into the subway and said, "I don't care about dying. I want what I want. And this guy choked him out. Like, coach
Oh
over there.
yeah.
Did Casey edit
The
this?
coach is over there. I can show you,
I feel
but
like he
not
went
with my
on
shoulder.
a while.
But
after
he choked the
cut
guy
off.
out, and
Here, cut
unfortunately,
off
the guy
48.
died.
Yeah, I remember this being 50
They're bringing the
something
guy up
when it originally
on
aired.
charges.
The last
Like, they want to
Yeah.
put him in jail after he
One of
saved.
my favorite things that Casey has done consistently since he's been on the air, when he signs off, he pitches to a non-existent commercial. It's like a "we'll be right back" every single time I tune into one of his episodes. I want him to play into that, actually. The we'll be right back, and he ends the show. We'll be right back tomorrow. How about that for a sign off, Casey? You've done a terrible, wretched, awful sign off, pitching to a non-existent commercial. So pitch to a tomorrow.
Saved so many people on that subway car.
Right.
You know?
Oh, that's a tricky because
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to
Well,
politicize it and everything.
most people, when you choke them out in like wrestling, they don't die.
Right, right.
Right? I
No,
mean,
that
I
sounds
don't know a lot
fun.
about that.
That's the
No,
Sado.
you're right on
Never
that.
been, but I'm
Usually they
thinking.
just they go to sleep.
Part
But
of
you
Sado
Yeah.
masochism.
Tap or nap.
You took
know,
me out,
yeah.
angel. You would be
Yeah.
my angel very
But
much.
just
so-
tap
so-
me out.
Yeah.
A lot of people know you
And you should
as
tie me up while you do things to me. Because, you know, once you regain
the
consciousness,
gorgeous,
you don't know where you are.
poster
Has anyone
girl
else been choked
that
out?
worked for so many different labels in
You're
the
very
adult
confused when
industry.
you wake up
How
again.
did you get involved
So,
in that?
Yeah, when
And
you're
tell
doing
us
stuff
about
to me
what
and I
that's
regain
like.
consciousness, I should be
Well,
tied
this
down.
was
so I didn't hurt
also like a while ago. I would say I started in like 97 to like 2009. I had a good run,
Yeah, but you
and
just
it was
came back.
internet
I
was
talked
like it
about
was
getting choked
the
out
it
during
thing
sex, and
at
you
that
missed it.
time.
You'll have to go back a couple of minutes
Was
to see it.
to
Or catch this at the end. I'll
watch
probably
adult
clip that.
stuff on the
Right.
internet.
It takes YouTube
So
a
I
long
got
time
famous really
to
quick. It
process
was
this video. I can edit this after the fact, and I can edit out taking some clips. And it took like all day yesterday for the DSP co-host audition to be done processing for me to edit it and touch it up.
fun. I was engaged at the time, so my fiance and I decided to work together, which was
Oh,
kind
okay.
of
So
like
you worked? Would you only work
Yeah.
with your fiance? That's the only person
I
you work with?
did, and other girls.
Oh,
'cause-
okay,
Girls.
okay.
Okay. So
you never-
yeah, most
Yeah,
guys wouldn't.
Peter
care about
North.
that.
You didn't
Right,
eyes are
right.
cocked?
And then my
Your husband's
contract
cocked?
ended.
Actually, that's
And
kind of the
we
same
are
thing
really-
with Gage. Gage had her boyfriend, that ugly looking guy who she did handstands with and got railed. That ugly looking guy was her boyfriend. And how many times did Gage do the upside down handstand fuck? I know she did it at least twice on film. That should have been her gimmick. She should have been doing it more often. She must have hated doing it. Otherwise, as a producer, I would have been like, do it again, do it again. So you never got to work with Peter North. How unfortunate.
A relationship also kind of ended right around the same time, and I just was like, yeah, I don't want to renew. I don't want to do it alone because it's scary. Like,
Right.
you know, you're kind of thrown to the wolves afterward.
Like that.
And then also you're like, once you've performed in a movie, even though it was your fiance, you still got, now you got a title.
I see.
now you're a full blown, you know, porn star,
Well,
or at least
well,
I always walked a fine line between softcore and hardcore, and I
That was
never really
loud,
thought
wasn't
of
it? I'm
myself
sorry,
as a
viewers.
hardcore girl because I worked for Michael Nin, and he's got all these awards, and his girls look beautiful and empowered, and I didn't have any
Burning
regrets
Angel.
at that time. I think after
studio.
going, I'm
Thank you,
done,
Joanna
okay,
Angel,
and then
for
I moved
bringing
out
other
from
tattooed
Hollywood
ear
and came back
weirdos
home and went back to
forefront.
school
I
because I was like,
love them.
next.
Love them.
What?
I believe
I
Lola
mean,
Pay is on
it's
your
really
roster.
only so long. You got to ride the craze while it's crazy.
Yeah, What'd you go back to school for?
I went back to school. I know it sounds so hippie because my parents are hippies, to be a holistic healthcare practitioner,
Cool.
licensed massage therapist, and a
Nice.
The
Reiki
most
master,
cliche
which
hippie
is
thing you
like
can do. Okay, we've been with this 40 minutes of Casey's show, over an hour of my show. I think it's time to tap out of this. You've got another 18 minutes. That would take me to the 90. Do I tap out?
it's like
Reiki,
working with
yeah.
Well, let's listen to
working
your
with
hippie
energy and
bullshit
helping
for a little
people
bit
heal.
before going.
Just trying to look
some
for purpose in the
clip
world. Okay, now
and
I've got
sign
everyone's
off.
attention. Pay attention to me. Now what do I have to offer the world? So that was kind of my full circle, going back to my tribe because I'm Native
Your gaping circle.
American Indian. So which is cool because I also learned something about my bloodline.
I'm curious if
didn't know
I'm Native American. I've been told on my mother's side there's Native American, but I'm not sure. I know on my dad's side I was told German and Polish was a good portion of it. But what is it? The 23andMe. One of my cousins did it. Oh, what the fuck was that? 23andMe. They're English.
before because my mom had passed away. I inherited her house, and I found out that her mother's grandfather's grandfather was one of our original tribal chiefs and healers in 1902. And I'm related to him. And then I go, oh, it makes all this sense now why I am who I am, because it's in my ancestral bloodline to become a healer again. So what can I help the planet?
Always helping people. Always,
yeah, I think so.
There's just
now I want to teach the world how to be so sustainable. Our
You
tribe
are a
recently
helper.
bought the Golden Eagle Ranch farm here in California and San Diego. It's used to be an old thoroughbred racing ranch.
Okay, yeah, I think that's enough. I hear some noise in the house. I don't know if you're picking that up, but sounds like someone's watching TV. As I said, I'll just do the old pay them $10 to do things a lot more quietly. But before we get out of here, let's check in with my favorite agoraphobic. Let's switch back to here. No, not Darkside Phil. He is not my favorite agoraphobia sufferer. My favorite agoraphobia sufferer is Cotton Socks. We saw a clip of her in episode 1 as I was comparing DSP's agoraphobia to her agoraphobia and how she is creating fun content while being the weird person that she is, while Darkside Phil is creating boring content and not really being that'll be good for it. So let's check in with our favorite agoraphobic, Cotton Socks.
I'm lost in the woods. I do sort of know where I am. It's just I am in the woods, and my soul is lost. There's not much to worry about in the woods. Just the occasional bird pooping on you. Or a tree falling on me. One can only hope. I suppose you always run the risk of walking into a serial killer, but it would be a beautiful place to be murdered. The bluebells are all dead and dry now, like my hope for humanity. There are no people here. It's wonderful. Oh, there is thorns sticking in my ass, but that's okay.
Fiance there.
This looks like a good
Unfortunately,
place to summon
she's got too many intrusive thoughts to kill me before our wedding day.
You can't get me here, Wind. Yeah. The woods is a great place to hide from responsibilities. It's not a great place to hide from bugs or middle-class families on bike rides. I sprained my ankle last week, so I don't know why I walked 3 miles to get here. I might be stupid. I'm gonna climb a tree. I'm definitely stupid. Now I don't know where I am. I feel like a lot of us grow up and forget how to appreciate a good stick. I could slay all my enemies with this stick, like the TV license people. Oh! It was nice walking in the woods with you. And, no one got squashed by a tree, which, well, there's always next time. Anyway, bye.
One day when she decides to go to therapy, I hope she gets those intrusive thoughts out so that we will get married instead of me being murdered as her fiance. And speaking of weird folk, there is another TikToker who's quirky. Absolutely enjoy her content. I don't know if she does stand-up or anything. I think once I originally saw her, I think she was under 18, and it just made me feel weird because people call TikTok a kids app. They nuked KinkTok. I get like nothing on KinkTok anymore. I was getting a lot of kinky TikToks, and I believe they killed that dead. But yeah, so when actual under 18 children showed up on my stream, I was like, I'm not a fan. I'm looking for adult stuff. But I believe this weirdo is now above 18. I call you a weirdo in the most loving way. I enjoy you being you. Unlike Darkside Phil. I'm being me. Band. let's check out what is her screen name? Carmaxla?
She's so weirdly attractive. Why does every time that you guys say I look attractive, you can never just say that? You always have to say weirdly attractive or oddly attractive. And also, every time you guys say I look like a celebrity, you always say that I look like the yard sale version or the discounted version or the Walmart version of Margot Robbie. I can never just look like Margot Robbie, or I look like the clearance rack at Goodwill version of Billie Eilish. Why can't I just look like them, or the squirrel version of Jane from Breaking Bad? And also, for everyone saying that I look like William Dafoe or Macaulay Culkin, do you know how insecure I am that I look like them? That's my biggest insecurity. That I look like Macaulay Culkin or William Dafoe, and I hate it. I hate that you guys compare me to him. And they're the only, and sadly enough, those are the only people that you guys don't say, oh, you're the Walmart version of William Dafoe. I'm only the Walmart version of Margot Robbie. Not William. I'm just the normal version of William Dafoe, I guess. Sorry.
Thank you, Cotton Socks. Thank you, Carmela. Keep being you. You're very entertaining people. DSP, we will return to being DSP's co-host maybe next week, maybe 2 weeks. Coming up on Thursday's show, the Shuley Network needs an executive producer, and I am really going to get into the weeds about it. As I mentioned, my appearance on a different podcast, I endeared a small amount of the people and frustrated lots of the amount of people with all I had to say of the Shuley Network. The host did not give me a whole lot of time, so I was shot out of a cannon talking about how the Shuley Network is very inefficiently run. It is, I was a fan. Coming up tomorrow, I will tell you not tomorrow, Thursday. I need an extra day to prepare. I want to make sure this is the comprehensive Shuley Network needs an executive producer stream. So I will be done with it after that. I know a lot of people from the B Dablin podcast think I'm completely obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with efficiency. That's why I gave myself the absurd title of efficiency expert, because I can help you tighten those bolts. Thanks for tuning in, viewers. Like, share, comment. That helps the algorithm. I will be back tomorrow. And how did I sign off yesterday? I've got to come up with a regular sign off. Whatever. I'll work on it. Bye. I got to hit 2 buttons. I've got to remember that. That's why I was so awkward yesterday. So long, folks.